Well, good morning everyone and welcome to the video edition of Traders Espresso for the morning of Wednesday, February 21st, 2018. And yesterday saw a rough day in the markets. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was down a little over 1%. The S&P 500 was down 0.6%. The NASDAQ was down marginally, 7 basis points. The Russell 2000 was down just about 0.9%, and VIX was down. End of the day, overall down, still above 20 at 20.37. Okay, in the futures markets right now, we're seeing kind of some mixed signals. The Dow futures are up 3 basis points. The NASDAQ futures are up a little bit more solidly, 0.4%. The S&P futures are up 0.15%, and the Russell is up 0.16. Volatility futures are down just about 0.7%. Volatility itself is down 1.6%. Okay. One of the events from yesterday was the Treasury auctions. Those were the shorter dated notes, 4-week notes or 4-week bills and 3-month bills, etc. Pretty much across the board, prices were all down, which means that yields were up on all of those auctions. And that's something obviously that the market has been watching, is the prospect of higher yields. What is that going to do to derail the stock market rally? What are higher yields going to mean for consumers in terms of higher rates? What is the path towards rate hikes that the Fed is going to be pursuing, especially under new chair Jerome Powell? Now we're going to get part of that answer today at 2 o'clock Eastern Time. The Fed will release their minutes from the last meeting that they just recently had. Traders and analysts will definitely be parsing the language there to figure out what it really means for the future of rate hikes in the coming year. Will it be 3? Will it be 4? How many will it be? People will be looking forward to that. At this moment, the TNX, which is the index for the yields on the 10-year note, is down 0.3%, so it's down below 2.9. It's at 2.884. Now, I reported yesterday that the U.S. government, the Treasury, is auctioning off yesterday, today, and tomorrow about $258 billion. I think so far the auctions have amounted to about $150 billion, so there's still a ways to go. There are some other auctions today. The big one that I will be looking at, which is the one that I report on or talk about quite a bit, is the auction on the 10-year note, which I'm looking it up here. I believe that is tomorrow.
Root uses artificial
and it
intelligence.
should be tomorrow. I'm not sure what time. Probably in the afternoon. That was what I was about to try to look up. So at 5 o'clock Eastern Time tomorrow, we should know the results of the auction on the 10-year note. That's another one that's going to be, pretty closely watched. Looking at markets overseas right now, and then we'll look at commodities and Forex. Asian markets were up across the board. The Hang Seng was the strongest. It was up just about, it was up 1.8%. European markets are mixed right now, actually more down than not. The DAX, which is the German index, the CAC French 40, are both down, and the FTSE, which is the UK index, that one is up 0.2%. On the energy front, nat gas is up. Oil and gas and heating oil are all down. In terms of precious metals, gold and silver are both up. Gold's not up a whole lot. It's up, 0.02%, so it's up 2 basis points. Copper, platinum, and palladium, which are more industrial metals because they have industrial applications as well as, being a store of value and etc. Those are down. Copper's down 0.4% right now. Bonds yields, as we mentioned, are down pretty much across the board. The US 10-year, the German 10-year, the Japanese 10-year, the UK, the French 10-year, all down a bit. And then finally on the Forex front, the euro is weakening against the dollar, so dollar strengthening against the euro. The dollar index itself, just caught this out of the corner of my eye, is up. Not a lot. It's up, 15.15% right now. The Japanese yen is weakening. The pound is weakening. The Canadian dollar is weakening. And Bitcoin is actually down. I don't usually talk about Bitcoin, but it's down below 11,000. It had there was a lot of fanfare yesterday, especially among cryptocurrency enthusiasts, that that Bitcoin was back up above 11,000. So that's kind of the overall view for what has been happening and what we can expect to happen today. Again, futures are pointing to a mildly higher open. The mini Dow basically flat, and the NASDAQ 100 futures being the strongest. Keep an eye on the 10-year note auction tomorrow, and keep an eye on the release of the Fed note minutes today, because that will provide some clues. I would guess that today will be pretty much a range-bound market, especially, I think traders will be waiting for the release of those Fed minutes to really make any decisions about, from a directional standpoint. So that's what we should be seeing today. So good luck, everybody. Have a great trading day, and we'll catch you next time. Bye now.